Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome into Pregaming here at Sports Money. You know what time it is, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're all assembling. We've been marinating on the sports card all day. Time to figure out how we're going to get to the window and cash winning tickets. Going to be a fun card tonight. Had to trim it back. I got three. Actually, I can't count. I went 3 and 4. 3 hockey games, 4 NBA games. Man, I love what I saw across the board tonight here. Just one college football game between those two stinkers in Conference USA. Maybe World Series. I was waiting to see a couple of things with the World Series game tonight, but we will see about that. And we've got a nice little player prop parlay. That's how we'll pop the show off, so you guys have plenty of time to get that action in. Going to be a busy night. I was just messing around doing a little production work here. It takes me a little bit of time. I'm not a production extraordinaire like Jose Bouquet, but I'm trying. And my guy Jay Peasy inspired me to get after it. So sorry it's late, but we're going to get into this card here just a moment and try to rock and roll. Let's see how last night went for us. Kind of, again, a middling spot. I feel like that's been the theme here. Pleasant surprise. We're hovering around 22 units for the month of October. But we're waiting for a big bang. And I think that might come for us tonight. What did we do last night? Let's take a look out there. We went 2 and 2 in hockey. We had the Ducks plus 205 and then the plus 1.5. Cash. Easy cash, by the way. Ducks, easy casher last night. 2 big bombs in a row in the NHL. We lost the Blues. Now, damn it, Hofer was not the guy, I don't believe, in net. I did see Binnington in there, although I guess they could have pulled him. I guess I didn't look, but felt a little duped in that spot. And then the Rangers in regulation, hottest offense in the NHL, just couldn't get past what was happening with that Washington Capitals team. They rallied, but every time they kept coming back, Ovechkin finding a way to bomb that goaltender and, certainly made Shesterkin pay the price. How about the NBA? Nets plus 5, pushed, I believe. Mavericks plus 5, easy winner. Thought there were some dogs out there last night. The Jazz got busted up, though. There was a trend that fell in line with that Jazz play last night that got scratched today because of that. New Mexico State. Man, I was watching that game. I don't know what happened. Did a little strategy stuff, a little prep stuff for some weekend, and I look back, and they're getting busted up. But La Tech plus 16.5 and the under 51.5 cash for us out there. And easy money on that Dodgers over 8.5. That was a nice even money, easy money spot for us in Major League Baseball. So went back to it. Kind of debating going back to it again today. I just haven't made my mind up. I've got one player prop, and that's going to be part of the parlay for today's action in the World Series here. But, man, this is tricky. I told you guys yesterday, if you're a tinfoil hat conspiracist, you got to want to believe that they wanted to see these 2 biggest gambling markets or media markets extend this thing a little bit. And I just don't know now. Seems like Garrett Cole, Flaherty. Now, Flaherty went out there and pitched a beaut that last game, the first game of the series, I should say. Right? Everyone was kind of expecting him to play like crap, and myself included, with that 6.1 ERA. Frankly, he hadn't given up a run until the bottom of the 6th inning, or I think it was the top of the 6th inning. And that was because they just left him in a little too long. Now, the second time through, essentially, in 4 days or four games, I don't think that favors Flaherty. I don't think so, but I just haven't gotten there. I'm trying to talk it out loud. I'm trying to make it make sense, and I just can't. I just can't get there. I want to have action in it, but we have plenty of action tonight, so we don't have to go try to put the old square peg in the round hole, so to speak. But it's going to be fun to get after it. So let's do just that, you guys. You know the deal. Need your help. Need you guys to hit that thumbs up button for us here. You did a terrific job. In fact, the last 2 days, we had 72, then 83, I believe, and continuing to crank. So let's see if we can beat that number out there. I'll tell you what, if we can get to 100 likes on a show here, we'll do a little giveaway for you guys. A little giveaway. And speaking of giveaways, pay attention. We're going to add a new component to the community tab for the month of November. For the month of November, cash prize giveaway. Stay tuned. Joe T and I are going to rock this thing and give you guys an opportunity to make some cash. I think it's going to be fun. I think you guys will enjoy it. We'll see. Real simple. It'll be on the community tab, and it's going to be a little live type of thing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how that goes, but I'm excited for that. That's in the works here. We've got some programming coming up, some additional live streaming Friday and Saturday. Excited about that. Man, Sports Money is the place to be. Got all kinds of fun happening in the works here. Of course, the UFC card. Again, it got pushed back to 5:15 p.m. We're going to pop off with First Strike tonight. We'll get that recorded and out there for you guys. Fellas are running hot. I think I'm on a 2-game losing. I think I'm on a 2-fight losing streak. I think so. We got robbed in one, and the other one was just an outright disgusting play. So I got to bounce back. We'll see if that does happen out there. But I'm ready to go. I'm fired up for the card tonight. I'm fired up for the weekend ahead of us here. And time just gets moving. It just gets cooking. And I'm excited to cook this parlay tonight. It's been fucking long enough. How about that? How about that? It's time for us to get paid. These parlays coming oh so close, just not crossing the finish line for us. So you know the deal. Help us promote the brand. Help us crack this code. It's been tremendous to see what you guys are doing with this thumbs up button. All I can say is thank you. And I'll remind you, every show, so important. Close that comment section. Hit that thumbs up button. Then pop the comment section back up and we're ready to roll. All right. Looks like I gotta do a little refresh on the computer here after we're done here. But you know the deal. Tis the time. Get the pen and paper out. Now we got a lot of 7 o'clock games tonight. A lot of early action. Normally try to stagger it out, but this is the way the card played out tonight. So we got to get moving. We got to keep a brisk pace, faster than usual. And what did I do here? Let me double check something. Yeah, okay. You know the deal. Pens and paper out. Best in the business assemble here. They're going to share their best bets. They're going to share angles, trends, and things you need to know to catch winning bets going forward out there. And shout out to one KV reminding us that tomorrow is Thursday. She reminded us last week. I'll remind us today for tomorrow. Big game out there. If you know, you know, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But in the meantime, the best in the business, they're lined up. They're ready to go. They got best bets out there. We're going to recognize them. Put your plays in the chat so we can talk about what you guys got rocking out there. And of course, none other than Joe T popping off for us. Devils Canucks. First period over 2. First period over 2 in that Devils Canucks game. That'll be a fun battle. The Hughes Bowl. All 3 Hughes on the same team. I'm sure you guys have heard that narrative tonight. There's a couple of narratives that have been out there. We're not going to necessarily embrace some of that stuff, but boy, those Hughes brothers. What's not fun about that? 3 brothers. Oh, man. I can't imagine how much it cost that family to grow up playing hockey. All 3 of those kids. Travel teams, moving all over the country. Craziness. But Joe T likes the over in the first period, and he's got the 2. He's not laying the juice. He's going 2+. He thinks there's going to be 3 goals at least in that first period is what that looks like. Shout out to David Wallace. He's looking for a bounce-back day. Trans-Canada, hating on one of the hottest teams in hockey right now with a big play-on spot tomorrow. That be them Flyers. Keith from Each Every Strides here. Nicholas Handy's ready to roll. Justin McKelvey popping us off saying sports money is money. How about that? Let's go. All about them nips. Every time I say that, it makes me laugh. Like the Yankees money line and the Liberty money line in a parlay. There's a way to attack it. It's got to be a nice little plus. We got there like a plus 150, plus 160-ish. Maybe one. I bet you plus 164. That's my guess. Plus 164. Maybe 146. Curious. NJ Striker's in the house. Joey W's here ready to rock. The Futon Bet says John Morant under 5.5 rebounds. Let's get this cash, buddy. Shout out to Stop Geo Engineer. Clip Gang, the tinfoil conspiracy guy, is on the shit list. LOL. I did take off a by request. I did remove the New York Mets. We know there'll always be shit in our hearts, but we did take him off the list. It was only right. It was only right for my dude. He requested it. I get it. We'll take him off the list. There we go. Spurs, Julian Champagne, over 14, and I can't pronounce that correctly. Did I? Did I say that one right? Shout out to Joe W. Says duck race. Nunya says just where the money at my hand. I heard some about a parlay. Let's go. Big Scott 510 says, Mike, what's good? Let's get this cash. It's on the Jets -1. The Lightning money line. Got it last night. And the Columbus first period over 1.5. Merzlikins coming back. I don't know if he's ready to attack, but he's coming back. Shout out to Nunya. Gerardo Hernandez is in the house. My dude's ready to roll out there. Jay Peasy says he's got his pen and paper ready. And Trisha M says, hey, I would have thought these pitchers are coming off little rest and bats will fly. But I looked at what these guys do after 5 days and low earn run. My gut still says it's an over game for Trisha M. I like it. The sit out this long without decisiveness. And I did tie the under 8.5 in a parlay, but I don't know if that's how we're going to go. But it is time to go. We got to get moving. Hit that thumbs up button. You know the deal. Never enough time in the day. We got to get after it. So let's start with a little fun player prop parlay. We got to hit one of these. In the record, I count them as a full unit. So they're beating us up. Just transparency, we got to get one of these is what it's got to come down to. Let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Where did my notes go? Let's start her off. Game number 1 on the card. Let me see what we have here. Let me see. Let me change this around. My order's a little out of sequence here. We're going to go Bridges. We're going to take a little Bridges. 16 plus points. Mikal Bridges has scored 21 or more points in each of his last 6 games against the Heat. That's Bridges, 21 plus. We got it all the way down to 16 plus. Now, why not take a sprinkle on the 21 plus? It's like plus 275. How about, speaking of sprinkles, how about that triple-double from Jokic last night? Plus 275. Man, should have had that one. Where was that? That was in a parlay, but I didn't. I needed Luka. And then he was hurt, and he comes back. Anyways, then we're going to go to Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine scored 26 or more points in 9 of 12 games against the Magic. He's out there firing. We got him down to 20. Again, you can get creative with some of these things here. A little bit of juice in here, but it's still going to be almost a 14-1 leg on this parlay. I got Chet. Little Chet Holmgren. Why not? OKC's a huge favorite in this game. What does that tell me? Tells me there's going to be a lot of missed shots. And who's going to be there playing the big board defensive game that he does? Zach LaVine. He's averaging 13 rebounds a game. He's the big man. Now, obviously he's got some Wemby action to contend with out there as well. But I think this fact that this spread is so large, so wide, as my guy Subhuman Gaucho would say, is indicative of the fact that OKC should beat the shit out of these guys. And with that missing of points comes Holmgren. Mopping cleanup out there, making things happen. And let's go out and talk about the one play I have. The lone play I have. Well, I have the Yankees under 8.5 in a parlay, but I don't love it. I don't love it. It was one of those early morning things. Before you look at anything, you just click off the gut. I don't love it. But I do love an opportunity for Stanton. Man, he's been firing. I talked about that Flaherty situation, and Stanton was quiet last night. So we know Judge, sub-1 batting average out there is disgusting here. And, Freddie Freeman, for what it's worth, right? I mean, what's this? The last 8 times he's had a hit, it's been a home run in World Series games? I mean, that's a freaking anomaly and a half out there. But I'm going to play on Flaherty. Weaker against right-handed hitters. On base percentage of 290. OPS 730. And, he gives up the long ball too. But Giancarlo Stanton, to me, I think he's due for a bounce back spot. That's what this comes down to. Whether or not they win the game, I don't know. I just think he can get on base, whether he gets walked or not, and I think he's good to advance 1. So that's 1. It's over 1.5 is the optimum price tag for that, but we juiced it down. Then we've got Anders Lee for the New York Islanders, a game that we'll talk about here in just a minute, and has over 2.5 shots on goal. I mentioned him yesterday. He got the job done again yesterday. I think it was like the first period he got the job done. So we're going to run back to it, especially knowing that they lost that game last night. Potential bounce back spot for the Islanders. We'll find out in just a minute. But Anders Lee at over 2.5 shots on goal pays us at plus 1370. Plus 1370. Now, for anybody that does want to know, DraftKings has some, I don't know what they call it. Is it the King something? Some shit in the NBA is what they've got. Let me find it. And I did use, I did take the Bridges 20 plus points for that prop. And that prop will pay handsomely. In fact, I believe it moved it up to, I think that moved it up to plus 250 as well. So check that out. That's an interesting little player prop spot. They'll let you put down a bill. They'll let you put a C note on it. That's good money on a return for a guy that averages consistently. Oh, it's 18 plus that I got him at. 18 plus. So for what it's worth, that made it plus 150. 18 plus was plus 150 using the king of the court, I believe was what the parlay or what the boost action was called out there for DraftKings. Told you guys before. Talk to successful gamblers, professional gamblers. They say that they load up on those boosts. Now, when the boosts get down to like $10, all right, it is what it is. But hey, if you can still put a C note on it, and you can still turn that into 1.5 times your money on something that no guarantees, but should be pretty damn good, then that's not a bad way to go about it. And that's how we're going to open the card up there for you guys. There is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leg parlay. Bridges, 16 plus points. Levine, 20 plus points. Holmgren, 10 plus rebounds. Stanton, 1 or more bases. And Anders Lee, over 2.5 shots on goal. The more I say it, the more I want to circle back and whack it again. But we got action. We got games to get to, so let's get to the getting of getting it getting. I don't know what happened there. But I know with this Islanders and Blue Jackets game, we do have confirmed goaltenders. We've got Varlamov. We've got Merzlikins going out there. Finally, Merzlikins dealt with some shit. And, I mentioned the loss last night. The Islanders been playing pretty even between Sorokin and Varlamov to start the season, and they should. Shout out to Babano. I was listening to a little bit of the Ice Guys today, and loved the little narrative he was talking about there with the GM and the coach there, Patrick Waugh, not getting along, not happy with lineup choices, and there is certainly some trouble in paradise. But second leg of a back-to-back here with this Islanders team. They're going to Varlamov. He's got that 3.72 goals against average and an 85.4% save percentage. He's 1-2-1. 1-2-1. But remember, that 10-game mark of the season, what do we start to look at? We start to look back at these guys and see, well, who the hell are they? And this guy is a 265 goals against average guy with a 91.6% save percentage. So he is very much underachieving. On the flip side, first game of the season, Elvis. He could be popping off. Elvis is in the building. Oh, I'm sorry. It's consecutive games. My fault. I was translating my notes. I'm like, this guy hasn't played before. He's got a dog shit record. 1-2, 7-4 goals against average and a 90.0 save percent. Difficult situation for this club out there. I mean, the thing is, the Islanders are scoring the third fewest goals in the NHL. That is definitely problematic for this team. You know, you can't win if you can't score. I'm not bought in, though. Not bought into this Columbus team. You know, the easy look at this is after they got busted up, what they do the following game, they came out there and they cooked the Edmonton Oilers. But we did see a little Connor McDavid get hurt. They had to bump the lines around. Now, they were losing before Connor McDavid got hurt. But I'm not so bought in. I'm not so bought in on Edmonton, frankly. And how about this one? Real simple math. First of all, home dog off a win at home are just 2-10. Home dog off a win at home, 2-10. Huge victory for the Blue Jackets against the Oilers. Now, is it hard to get motivated to play one of the best teams that a lot of people have predicted that are going to win the Stanley Cup? Probably not. If it is, you're playing the wrong sport. But I'm going to go to this one. And I'm going to take these Islanders. I'm not going to lean on these Islanders. I'm taking these Islanders here. Starting the road trip. Sometimes you got to get the hell out of Dodge. You know, you look at what they did out there. They lost 1-0 to Detroit, 6-3 to Florida, and 3-1 to Anaheim. Now, we were on Anaheim. It was an easy spot call for us. But they go out to New Jersey. We were on the Islanders in New Jersey. They won that game 4-3. They get on the road. Things start to loosen up a little bit. Furthermore, two teams, last game profile. If you outshot the team you're playing this game from their last game results by 18 shots or more, you're unrested on the road off a home loss. So you're outshooting the opponent that previous game profile. And think about that. Even though they lost the game 3-1 to the Ducks, they beat up a Columbus team in terms of shots on goal that beat an Edmonton team 6-1. That's how poor the goaltending was happening out there for Edmonton. And that's a perfect 13-0 trend that we're going to ride out there to open the card up. A little pricier than I would like. But I'm not buying this Columbus Blue Jackets team 4-3-1 on the season. Eat shit and throw it up. I'm jumping in on this Islander squad here. And it's probably not going to be a very favorable play. But the reason this price tag is where it is to me is just over inflation based on this line should be way more wide. We should be seeing 155s, 160s, not 130s based on, again, the goalie performances out there. This is just an overreaction spot to the previous game. And I want to take advantage of it. You know, we talked about back-to-backs in the NBA, talked about back-to-backs in the NHL, and surprise, surprise, there are some opportunities to play on them. To me, this is a good spot for us to take advantage of the Islanders in that back-to-back spot. They shot a lot. They just couldn't get past that Anaheim goaltender. And that's okay, because we made plus 205 on that spot out there. So, there's KV. New York Islanders, 9-1 in the series. Series in Columbus, 1-2 goal victory. Looked a lot better, says KV. Brandon the Great says, I haven't bet in a couple days. Hey, man, if you're just trying to ease back into it, throw a 10 spot on it. Throw a 10 spot. I think it looks great, but that's because I cooked it up. What am I going to say? Big Scott likes going to add both teams to score in the first period. KV's got Jets -1, Jets -1.5. 9 straight times winner in the series covers the puck line. Jay Peasy likes Patrick Williams under 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And there's Tarek B. My guy Tarek says, did a little parlay, Yankees first 5 plus a half and their team. I like that. I'll tell you what, despite the fact that I'm on the under, I really thought hard about the team total over. I really wanted to pull it. And reason being is it was I just thought the pricing was a good spot on it there. I think it's that opportunity for Flaherty to get smoked. Trisha M says the tin foil tells me the Dodgers want to win at home Friday. I love the look. I love the look. Why the fuck is Major League Baseball still doing 2-3-2s? It just don't make sense to me. Anyhow, our guy Ramon Scott's in the house. He says Morant upgraded to probable. Love to see those breaking opportunities out there. I don't have Memphis on the card, right? It's a firebomb spot for Memphis at 11.5. Can you believe it? We were on the Nets last night, and I'm talking about firebombing them. Lay the number. Not to worry about it, but not an official play on the card. That being said, though, let's keep her going. Like I said, lots of 7 o'clock action. So we gotta zip through this card. Enough of the butt rubbing, you guys. Here it is, the Jets and the Red Wings. And it's got to be, listen, you know what? We talk about fading the public spots. It's not to be a dick. It's because, well, it depends on who I'm fading. But by the time the public's heard about it and everyone's talking about it, it ain't a thing anymore. And, you know, what's the biggest thing you heard? Teams that lose 1 after winning 8 or whatever, they tend to lose 2 or they tend to lose 3. I don't know if I buy into that. Not against this Detroit Red Wings team who is ineffective at operating in special teams. Crucial component of the game. Don't know if I buy into it. Now, we got goaltender fuckery. Alex Leon is confirmed for the Detroit Red Wings. He's 2-2 on the season. He's got a .205 goals against average. He's got a 94% save percentage, and he's sporting a shutout. Interesting spot for this guy. And the Red Wings are on a 2-game losing streak. Being outscored 8-5 in that spot. 6th worst in the league offensively. 25 goals in 9 games is this Detroit Red Wings team that everybody thinks is going to come out there and handle this 8-1 Winnipeg Jets team. Connor Hellebuck is likely. Now, you'll have to double check. To me, it doesn't matter. I'm not on a side in this game. But, you know, Connor Hellebuck, tired of praising this fucking guy. 2.49 goals against average, 92.5% save percentage. He's got a shutout on the season as well. And, man, this is where I think you're in trouble if you're thinking it's a Detroit Red Wings spot. He's in a bounce-back position. 5 goals on 35 shots for that 85.7% save percentage his last game. 5 for 35. That's his first time he's gone under 90% all season. Interesting little opportunity out there. And I'm going to bet on these goaltenders. To me, this is the spot I want to be involved with here. It has a lot to do with just simply overvaluing teams that are struggling to score and looking at this bounce back, you know, and thinking, well, shit, Winnipeg's in a terrible spot here. They just lost. Watch Winnipeg come out there and slap these guys in the face like 4-1 or even shut them out 4-0. To me, I got a nice little 75% number moving in the direction for this under as well. And where'd it go? Let me see. Where did it go? See if I can find it and read it off for you guys as well. Where did you go? My notes are all over the place. I was in 3 different places today doing shit, so problematic to say the least. I can't find it. Hellebuck's on the under. Hellebuck's in a bounce back spot. Leon, I believe, is the better of the goaltenders for this Detroit team. And you just talked about the ineffectiveness of their offense out there. We're getting a minus 105 opportunity on the price tag for the 6. Let me see if it's still the best number that's out there. It is. We got a 5.5 out there at FanDuel. Not touching that. 6 is at minus 112s, minus 115s. 6 it is. Check out Bet Rivers at that minus 105 price tag. I'm going under. Low scoring game. Gerardo likes Judge to hit a home run. Or has he got to go to the HR department for slacking off at work? I'm not sure what that means. Is he going to the HR department? Or is he hitting a home run? That's what I guess the question is for me. You can't no call, no show work in the biggest opportunity. It's like not showing up to the work at Toys R Us during Christmas. They fire your ass. You got a Judge hasn't done shit all postseason. Doesn't make sense that he goes out there and fires to me. Jay Peasy, Hellebuck should be locked in tonight. I seem to remember NHL teams after ending a long winning streak tend to take a few games to get back to the W. Could be wrong. It makes sense. Gerardo, I figured that's what it meant. Yes, I do. Brandon the Great. It's funny because with the NFL touchdown parlay that we missed with Tyreek Hill the other day, I still hit 3 of 4 of the parlays that were put together out there. So I turn them into 3-leggers, generally speaking, 5s with 3s. But that's how I like to play it. I like to get involved with those. And then sometimes straight play them too. I like to straight play, maybe not full units if I'm round robining. It depends. Sometimes if they're really big, juicy numbers, and I expect I expect them all to hit, of course, but 3 of 5 with big, juicy numbers is profitable. If they're like really teased down, like 21.5 points is teased down to 16. Well, I guess it's not teased down, but if it's like that, and then I expect that I'll hit 4 of the 5 legs, and that means majority of the parlays will hit. You have to hit 4 of 5 plays to make your round robins profitable when it comes to that situation. So it just depends on kind of how the juice is, I guess, is what it comes down to. If I'm teasing down player props and putting a minus 200 in like the Judge factor, or I'm sorry, the Stanton factor, I wouldn't straight play that. That's a round robin play because he's minus 220 or something like that. So Cliff Yank says Toys R Us is shut down like Judge. I know that's a bad example. Although they put a hell of a great breakfast bagel spot right next to the old Toys R Us. So that's good, fun to see. Zoe says Judge is toothless, but he's also super overdue. I agree. I mean, it's just there's so many things that should happen in that game. It's hard to come to a conclusion of what will happen, right? We're gambling, but we're trying to take calculated risks. Where'd it go here? There it is. Yeah, my computer's lagging. Am I lagging to you guys? Am I lagging on the outside of this thing here? Zoe Face is 1370. I laughed the other day about that 6,900, but because it was just such a big number, but I felt great about it. And then here's 1370, and I was like, do I want to eat and crush it? Nah. All right. Speaking of getting greedy and crushing it, Tampa Bay Lightning is the play. That's the cat. That's it. That's it. No, you want some more? I'll give you some more. Here's the deal. Colorado Avalanche are a complete mash unit. Everybody's hurt. They're bringing guys from the... Take a step back. Let me fix myself here. Vasilevsky is supposed to start. He's likely starter. He's an all-star. We've talked about it. Guy's 90.5% save right now, but this is one of those spots where you look back, point in time. He's 5-3 on the season, 90.5% save percentage, but he has gone and fired at the end of last year. 97% saving at the end when it mattered. This game matters. This is a big opportunity with a depleted Colorado Avalanche team bringing in Kaapo Kähkönen. Remember last year we said Capo sucks. What? Kähkönen. And I don't expect that to change here. They did bring this guy up. They got him off of the waivers. Nobody wanted him. And I'll tell you, nobody wanted him, not because he's playing well. Generally speaking, if you find yourself on waivers and you got NHL starting experience and you're fumble fucking around in the AHL, it's because you're a pile of shit. Pretty straightforward. Now, as it correlates to that pile of shit, this is just a simple situation where Gorgiev's terrible. We know this guy is supposed to be their go-to, and he's really warmed up dog shit. Annanen's the guy. They're slowly kind of transitioning through, hoping Gorgiev can figure his shit out. But they ran the tread off the tires early in the season on Gorgiev, thinking he would figure it out, and he hasn't. So his numbers are going to look like shit all season long. Annunen, can't burn that guy out. He's the only real gem they've got in the tool shed. So now they go to this pile of dog shit in Kähkönen. Big Scott said it the best. I was thinking that too. He says, no pork roll, NJ Striker. I was never a pork roll fan. That was a little weird to me. I was never into the pork roll Philly thing. Just reminded me of like liverwurst. I don't know. Wasn't my thing. Yeah, and Big Scott says the Sharks didn't even want Kähkönen. So here's the problem. They're going to leave Kähkönen in there to roast and toast And he's got a hot offense coming into the net in this Tampa Bay team. This, not going to say don't overthink it, but don't overthink it. Kucherov's on fucking fire. Point's been scoring goals. I think he's got 4 goals in his last 5 games. Even Gunsel, the guy that they were able to move into the lineup and get rid of Stamkos, has been finding a way to make some things happen out there. I love Makar, of course. Not a middle stack guy. We've talked about this before. And what's not to like about McKinnon? But no, this is just take it. It's the proverbial free roll, I feel like, in this case here. Best case scenario, it's 1-0 in the first period, Tampa Bay. And then remember what we do with second periods in Colorado. Live bet, over. Second period, over. Now, if they go out there and score 5 goals in the first period, you know, that's very likely, by the way, with Kakinen in goal, that they could go out there and just rumble this dude. And literally, they're going to be calling the back. You know what happens? It's like the backup Zamboni driver sits in the stands. He's the emergency goalie on call. There could be a situation where they got this guy dressing up into the third period. I don't expect he's changing scenery now. He's going to go figure it out. No. I mean, he played well in the AHL, but it's a starting goaltender in the NHL. You know, conditioning assignment in Colorado Eagles. He did hold down a 91.9% save percentage. He did. Not automatically firing on this team total over. I would consider laddering this Tampa Bay team total over. I just felt like at minus 110, this is just one of those spots where you take it. You don't overcomplicate it. You don't fuck around with trying to get that money. We can always use a spot where we can just get that money. And unless Colorado comes out here flying like a bunch of Eagles, I just don't see it. There's no way I see this Avalanche team performing. And this line is steamed aggressively against them because Vegas sees it the same way. Once that injury report came out there, yikes is what everybody said across the board. Niskushkin, Lekkonen, Drouin, Woods, Colton, Pullman, all out. Who's out for Tampa Bay? Nobody. All in. Probably could do a puck line. Here. I don't know if you want to get that cute with it. Again, to me, it's just get in and get out. We talk about this with the UFC. You know, why do we have to get the guy to finish the guy in round 3 at plus 600 when we can just cash a nice big juicy minus 110 and not have to put the element of risk in play here? I know there's always risk when it comes down to it, but you get a minus 1.5 at plus 205. It tells me it's going to be a tighter game. Is it going to be 3-3 and we go into overtime and see a 4-3 finish? Well, if I was on the under, we would see that, but I'm not. So over 3.5 for Tampa Bay. Available at plus 105. Kind of a red flag when it comes to the scoring. Kind of a red flag. New Jersey. Yeah. I just remember being in Philly at breakfast and back when I was an early riser. I see that shit everywhere. I was like, oh man. Gotta overgrill that thing for me to be able to get involved on a little pork roll action. But let's go into Overcooked. And that is this NBA. We've been firing on the NBA here. Starting off the season up 8 units in the NBA. How about that? Can you believe it? Crazy. 8 units NBA action. Just started. Doesn't even feel like it. Well, we got the Lakers and the Cavaliers. And let me see. No. I was going to say, is this one of those cards where I feel like we talk about the themes in the cards? No, I think this theme is don't overthink it. That's what I would theme and rationalize with this card here. LA Lakers going into the house that James built in Cleveland. Plus 3.5s have moved to plus 4s. We have 81% of the bets and 81% of the cash on the Lakers. Now it has moved to half a point, so that should be maybe a little concern. The total's gone from 226.5 to 227. 85% of the bets, 85% of the cash on the over. What have we seen in this spot out there? Let me just, I got to move quickly here because there's a bunch of things that I got to get to for you guys. So let's go with this one here. Let me just be straightforward. Cavaliers are 0-11 against the spread when they're coming off a win of 10 points or less. The Lakers are 9-0 against the spread with the road dog and equal rest on a total that's less than 230. So lower predicting score. They can hang in there. I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game outright. Honestly. This is a great opportunity, I think, to just get in there and bomb this Lakers team here. You got, not only are you bringing back LBJ, but you're bringing his kid too. You don't think that place is going to go fucking crazy when Bronny James and LeBron James both step foot on the floor at the same time? It's going to be a tough place to play. And then if you want to get into some more details around it, look at who the Cavaliers have played. Yeah, they're running and gunning right now, as you can see by their record, but who they played? The Knicks. All right, they won 110-104. They were 3-point dogs in that spot, so it was impressive. They beat up on the Wizards. Whoop-de-fucking-do. They got Detroit. Great, nice job. They got Toronto. Big whoop. They haven't played anybody. This is going to be a first battle test for them. And the Lakers, flawless against the spread. And you're going to give us these points? We'll take them. We'll take the Lakers. Sprinkle that money line. Take a little dip on that money line here. Lake Show night out there in Cleveland. Early start too. So 7 o'clock. Another early start that we've got. The Hawks and the Wizards. Oops, put that there. Let me move this over here. I realize I need to get a play in, so got to get moving. Got to get to moving. And I'm taking the Celtics. Celtics opened up at 6. They've now moved to 6.5s and 7s. I realize I'm out of order. They're all 7 o'clock games, but just rotation order. 6 to 6.5s and 7s. 76% of the bets and 81% of the cash are on the Celtics. The total's climbing. It's up to 235.5s, even some 236s out there. 81% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the over. Look, talk about not overcomplicating. The Pacers are fucked right now. Their speed is down. Their scoring is down. Their tempo is down. Their chemistry is down. Down. Boston, clicking. Somehow, these guys started the season with a chip on their shoulder. And they won the chip. It don't make any sense. But I know Miles Turner's out. James Wiseman's out for the Pacers. Porzingis is going to be out. Hauser's probable, though. Upgraded to probable for the Celtics. I don't think it's going to matter. I think these boys get busted up. Overall, of course, I got some numbers for you guys. How about this? Jason Tatum. Remember how much I shit on Jason Tatum last year in the postseason? Well, Jason Tatum did Jason Tatum things last game. He had 15 points. The Celtics, after a game in which Tatum goes less than 17 points the last game, are 10-0 against the spread. 10-0. As if you needed enough reason to fade and play on one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now. Nasty Nate's boys are going to smash. Where's Nasty Nate? Does he have anything to say about the fellas smashing? I haven't seen him. I know. Let me see what he would say. Celtics smash. Celtics second quarter. There's your Nasty Nate plays there. Unofficial plays for Nasty Nate. We'll pencil him in for the trifecta and the second quarter. I'm just going to take him full game, though. I'm not going to fuck around with the. I don't want to get too complicated with the card here. I just want sometimes tired of middling. Tired of being up a unit, down a unit, up a unit, down a unit. I want to smash tonight. I want to smash. The Hawks and the Wizards, I'm going to smash. I'm smashing this spot. -3 now, -4.5s, and up to 5s and 5.5s, despite what is reverse line movement. You have 60% of the bets on the Wizards, 54% of the cash on the Wizards. The line has moved from 3 to 5.5s out there now. Shop this one around. I jumped in on a 5. 236.5 for the totals dropping. So we're seeing 233.5s down to 233s. 80% of the bets and 78% of the cash are on the over, and we have reverse line movement there as well. I don't know why everybody's so enamored with this Washington team. You want to talk about another team? I mean, it's the second leg of the back-to-back. These two teams just played each other. And the Wizards were able to sneak in an outright victory, 121-119. I believe we were on the Wizards in that game against Atlanta, because Atlanta at home stinks. So you got a little revenge narrative that factors into this NBA. And then what happens when you're the Wizards and you cover the spread and shoot lights out? When you go back home and you've got a little bit of rest, you're 0-9. So they won that game outright because they shot lights out. Shot lights out to find us shooting over 41% from the field. Every other bucket dropped for them. Is that going to happen again? Hell no. Furthermore, in the NBA, away favorites after a home favorite loss bounce back. They're 158-94 against the spread. Think about it. This line was 8. It's dropped down to 4.5, and it's reverse line movement out there. Overreaction festival. It's Atlanta in this case. I'm not a big Hawks fan, but I got to jump in on that trend. I got to take advantage there. It's kind of an intersecting opportunity. When the Wizards go back home after shooting lights out, they don't perform. They can't follow it up. They put up 121 points. Crush that over. I just don't see the same success with the ball dropping at this rate. And then again, you look at the injury report. Brogdon, Kuzma, and Bey are out for the Wizards. I'd feel a lot better if Bogdanovich was playing for the Hawks, but DeAndre Hunter's out. Bogdanovich is out. I don't think it's going to matter here. This is that revenge bounce back narrative. And again, the away favorite firing after they lose as a home favorite out there. Big opportunity for us to jump in there. Let's keep her going. Like this pace, like just flying through this thing. Big night tonight. Lots of stuff to get involved with here. So Portland Trailblazers, LA Clippers will be the last NBA card. I chose to go with the 4 in the NBA, not the NHL, because we've been banging on the NBA like a drum right now. So I want to keep that going while we got the hot hand, or at least while we're working with trends in our favor. Trends are our friend. Trends are our friend. And talk about a bounce back spot. We got the Blazers and the Clippers. 61% of the bets and 63% of the cash are on the Clippers. We've gone from 7.5s to now seeing some 8.5s out there. It's a late game, so we're starting to see this movement. The total has been moving all day from 214.5 all the way up to 219.5. And you got 93% of the bets and 93% of the cash on the over. When I talk about the bounce back, I talk about specifically in this case with these teams, with this Clippers team. Look, they fucked up. They opened up their brand new stadium. They were rolling. Then they lose. They give up a lead. They blew a 9-point lead in Denver. I mean, they've been blowing leads like crazy, but finding a way to still cover spreads. And that's what I like. That's how we make our money, is with these teams that cover spreads. Road team. Back-to-back dog spots as a road team, which is what those Clippers were that cover the spread. They're just 7-5 that next game after the rarity of going on the road for back-to-back games and covering both spreads. But when you factor in a rest advantage, and they do have a 1-day rest advantage, that number moves to a 75% win ratio out there. As random as it happens, as long as they're not priced as a 3-point or greater dog, it's a 75% win ratio. And it's the bounce back. The bounce back meaning they opened their stadium, they fucked around, but I think they're revenge minded here. Coming back home, you got to want to fire up and get a W in the new barn. Can't go out there and slap this thing in the face here. And frankly, the Trailblazers are in a fade spot. So big opportunity to take advantage of a team that has been covering and now swells as a big favorite, despite the fact that they were dogs the first 3 games of the season. Now they're a big favorite. That's how bad the Trailblazers are. Trailblazers barely pushed a 13-point spread against the Sacramento Kings. Now they're on second game of a road trip. Don't forget, they opened the season with back-to-back wins against the Pelicans. So we haven't really seen much of what the Trailblazers team has done. No, they won one and they lost one. They split them at home against the Pelicans. Zion injury factors in there as well. When it got on the road and they had to get a big test in the Sacramento Kings, they got the shit kicked out of them. And I expect that to happen again tonight. I think this is a spot where we see the Clippers win this thing double digits. No problemo. What do you guys think about that? 7.5 is the number that I got out there, by the way. Let me see what's out there on the card tonight. Still got 7.5s. BetMGM's got 7.5. 8's now at FanDuel, DraftKings, and Caesars, a bunch of books. Bet Rivers, now the early movement to 8.5. Now it's minus 105, but it's showing us that leading indicator is that this number is going to probably end up moving to 9 by the time this thing tips off. And or somebody significant might be out of this lineup, even more so than, what we've seen from this Trailblazers team. They got to lean on Harden. Harden's got to, as much as he's a piece of shit, You got to find a way for the beard to go out there and figure it out. Kawhi Leonard factors again, injury galore. This is definitely got to be a big James Harden night, but I think it will be. I think with the spotlight on Harden in that brand new building, expensive and exciting, everyone's going to be fired up to see them win this game, and why not? Why not take a shot with it? Big O says under question mark. Nothing really jumped out to me on the total. Sometimes if there's still a significant enough trend and I'm just deciding on one side versus the other, I would consider that. I would say I would probably lean to the over. I don't know. That's tough. I mean, they had back-to-back unders for the Clippers, but those were road games. And that means that we're going to get a little deflated number when it comes to, and you got 2 of the last 3 games have gone under for the Trailblazers. So that's where we're kind of buying low. The fact that, let's not forget, James Harden loves drawing penalties. He's going to get a lot of free throw opportunities. I know some of the rules changed, and it's certainly circumvented his ability to just go sit there at the charity stripe. But if he keeps getting and ones and gets 2 free throws out there, he's going to be making a bunch of points here. His point prop probably something to take a look at tonight as well. Just knowing they're going to be at home, there's home cooking. They want to see a big win in that barn. I would lean to the over, but I nothing official. I don't want to talk you off a spot that you might like. Big O, my dude. But let's wrap it up. Last game on the card. Nice brisk pace today, boys and girls. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Certainly appreciate the support. That's how you can support us. If you haven't become a member, we are listener supported. So very much appreciate you guys taking the time to contribute. You guys did a great job yesterday. Great job. Contributions, memberships, gifted, all kinds of fun stuff going on out there. And we're going to look at college football. This game starts at 7 p.m. as well. So we got to move fast. I'll tell you right now, I'm on Jacksonville State. We're up 4 units in college football, 3.9 units in college football this month. Not quite where I wanted it to be. I'll have a full breakdown for you guys when the month finalizes here. We've got just 2 more days of October to close this thing out. But we got a line that's got 59% of the bets and 58% of the cash on the Liberty. And maybe it makes sense at first glance. 63.5 has moved to 64.5. We have 46% of the bets on the over, 53% of the cash on the over, expecting points, which kind of makes sense. I mean, if you look at these 2 teams, they should be scoring. They should have no absence, but not so fast. Not so fast. All us over bettors out there. Look, this is that styles of the games. We've talked about these teams for 4 weeks in a row now. What's Jacksonville State do? They run. What does running do? Each time off the clock. Tick, 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 tick. On the other side of things, what does Liberty do? Well, they have a pretty good run defense. Kind of like we saw in that. I didn't expect to see, 9-3 or whatever the final was of that game last night. I expected it to be low because we talked about fast-paced teams that aren't very good, just not getting the ball past the midfield, and that's exactly what we saw out there. But look, Gamecocks have 2 separate guys that ran for 100 yards last game each. When you've got 2 separate players on a team that run for 100 or more yards the previous game, 587 and 481 lifetime in college football. Doesn't happen often enough, but it's happened over 1,000 times. And when it does, the under becomes in play the following game. And I believe there's a little bit of that over adjustment factor that comes into play out there because we got both teams that like to run the ball. And when I think there's the over adjustment out there, 205 and 142 to the under after a team allows at least 60 rushing yards on fewer than 22 attempts. So when the run defense isn't humming and the team is scoring, the bookmakers don't know how to adjust the numbers. That's why the trends are so important, because you start seeing these 60% windows out there where we're catching, and you hear a lot about this overinflated or deflated lines and those opportunities out there. But Liberty does allow less than 130 rushing yards on the season, makes this thing what I think is going to be another battle like we saw in that second game last night. Now, I don't want to get involved in the total, but I would strongly lean to the under. Here's the thing I got. Liberty's won each of their last 12 games at home. They have a strong advantage on the home turf. But what happens in those spots? What do people do when they see it 2.5? They say, fuck it, I'll just take the money line. And then what happens? They lose. You got conference home favorites that are playing early weeks, anything but Friday or Saturday. The line's less than a -19, and they got less than 8 days of rest, so they're not coming in off a bye or some extended preparation time. Those conference home favorites are just 14 and 24. I'm going to take the points with Liberty. Live dog. I'm sorry, not Liberty. Well, I hope that wasn't a Freudian slip. Take Jacksonville State. This is a 1-point game either way, I think. I think it's going to be tight. I do think the under's in play, as I talked about the way these two teams kind of match up against each other. Shout out to Trisha M. She gifted a $4.99 dono. Appreciate you, Trisha M. Thank you very much. I'll cheers this, and we'll get to the good stuff momentarily. But I'm on Jacksonville State, you guys. I got to get a couple of these last-minute updates in there, so I got to wrap her up. I got to put a bow on the show. There he is. Nasty Nate's in the house. Nasty Nate, I made some unofficial plays for you. I don't know if you heard me or not, but Celtics trifecta and the Celtics second quarter are your unofficial plays for that Boston Celtics game. You can tell me if you confirm them or not. Shout out to Ramon, says Trisha. Woo! Let's go. Trisha M. Appreciate you rocking with us. Thank you guys all for getting together here tonight, 6 p.m. You know the deal here. We're going to get shooting on First Strike. That'll be available for you guys tonight. Then you'll see my guy, Ramon Scott, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. The morning steam, giving you guys the info, the steam report, the overnight cash analysis, the winning bets that are coming in. He's ready to roll. And you don't want to miss out with my guy out there. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button here. And make sure you hit the thumbs up button there. Appreciate you guys rocking tonight. Good luck with your bets. Again, I had to cut it short. I got to get a couple things in. But we're at 7 o'clock on the head. You guys get up on out of here. Get that cash. Good luck with your bets. And I'll see you back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. for pre-gaming here with Sports Money on behalf of all the Sports Money team. Thank you guys. Good luck with your bets. Check you guys real soon.